My name is Rory Powers, and I'm with Right Line Trading. Today's presentation, the AI Auto Trader, which is a fully automated strategy that runs within NinjaTrader 8. Once it's enabled, it will execute and manage the trades on your behalf. And let me just get the CFTC out of the way. It's important to know that this presentation is really just for educational purposes only, demonstration, educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please do yourself a favor and consult with a licensed financial advisor. I just wanted to start out and mention that this is a trading system that's good for all levels of traders, whether you're a complete newbie or you've been trading for 30 years. It's good for everybody. And a testimonial that I have here that I'm not going to play, but I'm just going to summarize very quickly. And I think other people's experiences with the system are very valuable to know. Marcy is a really great example of one of our success stories who started trading the system with very little to no experience with futures trading. Or prop trading for that matter. And through using the AI Auto Trader, being a member of our community in Discord, which is extremely valuable, and with our team's guidance, she was able to really shorten her learning curve significantly. In the past, I've talked to newbie traders and kind of served as a coach almost. Through their learning process to try to shorten the learning curve as much as possible. And prior to this automated system, our software would really take a newbie, at least 6 months to a year, if not longer. This is a system that significantly shortens that learning curve. In fact, Marcy, who's an excellent student, learns like absorbs the information like a sponge and is able to apply it extremely fast. To make a long story short, the first 3 months she has 16 funded accounts, and she is in our YouTube live stream every morning posting her results, and she's incredibly consistent and extremely profitable trading our system. So really my hat goes off to Marcy. But I just want to take a moment to really just mention that our mandate here at Right Line Trading, it's not just me behind the scenes flipping the switches and the levers. I'm part of a really talented, educated team. And our mandate as a team is help to develop trading strategies and indicators that help predict the future direction of price. We want to provide our members with an edge over all other retail traders. And we've been around for about 13 or 14 years now. And along the way, we've been blessed because we've built a really strong community of traders of all skill levels that all share with one another their own personal experience and what's working for them, sometimes more important, what's not working for them. So we could sidestep those same pitfalls. But I'd just like to recognize my team very quickly. We have one thing that distinguishes Right Line Trading from our competitors is we have actually 4 now. We have 4 venues that we trade the market, the right edge of the charts every morning at 9:30. We trade them live in our live trading rooms and on YouTube live stream. And I really think that that's one of the main features that distinguishes us from our competitors. It's one thing to hear about how much someone made last week or yesterday, but it's a lot more valuable to me, and it has a lot more credibility to see it in real time. And having transparency and integrity is extremely important to us. So just to very quickly introduce our traders, we have 2 futures traders. We have Mr. Craig Emery, runs our futures trading room. He primarily focuses on the NASDAQ, and he's really an expert at trading our software. We have David Kushner. He's our prop trader. He has successfully been able to maintain funding. Last count, I think he told me he was up to over 10 funded accounts now, with several different prop companies, and he makes it he makes a living out of getting payouts, and he does it because he has a rules-based system and he's very disciplined. He doesn't let his human emotions get in the way, like most of us. And then we have David Wise, who's just a extremely talented and gifted options trader. He leverages the signals that our software provides to trade options. So we have two really nice equity streams here at Right Line Trading with futures and options. David has been able, he happens to be, I don't know if you're familiar with the Reddit community of traders, but it's a community of traders that's about 20,000 deep. And David is a leader in that community. If you ever go in there, his name is One Wise, and his name is highlighted with a star next to it because he's been verified as being a professional trader. So he's able to post articles, which he does on a regular basis, and he's a leader in that community. Really what matters to us as traders, because we're in it to make money. We have one thing in mind. He has a 90% win rate, and if I showed you his P&L, his equity curve, it would go straight up north. It's very consistent. Behind the desks here, I mentioned we have a very educated team. Brock Miller is our college student. He's getting a degree in computer science. Mr. Charles Sider has become our community favorite. He's an expert. He's got his master's degree from UCLA. He's an engineer through and through, right to the bone. And he's very meticulous. He makes sure all of the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and everything is perfect, right down to the spelling of everything. So he's also provides excellent customer support. He makes himself available to our community 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. So he's working 60-hour weeks, and he does it very professionally. Sergio Luque Rodriguez has his master's degree in computer science. He can bring complex algorithms, mathematical modeling, and now AI integrations into computer language, and he can code it and bring it to life on our computers. I've worked with Sergio for a long time now. He's extremely talented, and he's a brilliant guy. The team is led by Mr. Mark Miller. He's a U.S. Army vet. He has his MBA from Cal State, and he purchased the company from Mr. Mark Sachs, who is really a brilliant guy as well. And Mark Sachs left us this beautiful foundation. He coded these indicators that are all based on mathematical modeling, and he handed the baton off to Mark Miller, whose background is in automation and robotics, with an MBA degree. So he's also an engineer. And I like to think of myself as the beneficiary because I have a 30-year mortgage. No, I want to stay with Right Line Trading for as long as possible because I love what I do, and I've come to know a huge number of our traders here, kind of on a personal level. So I'm really grateful that Mark Miller did purchase the company from Mark. So Mark Miller, I think the biggest asset that he's brought to Right Line Trading are those core military values of being honest, being transparent, having integrity. And he makes sure that it finds its way to each and every one of us on this team. So I think that's really a breath of fresh air when it comes to this niche. I just want to take a minute to introduce myself, the voice that you hear behind the screens here. My name's Rory Powers. I'm a Syracuse University graduate. I've been trading the financial markets for about a dozen years now. And been blessed, absolutely blessed with the most beautiful wife. I didn't get married till a little later in my life. When I was younger, I was a bit of a free spirit, but I chased down this half marathon runner from Haiti, who's an American citizen now. And you can see the size of her legs. This girl's a runner, man. How I ever caught up with her, I'll never know. But like I said, I've been blessed. And we have two beautiful children. One is 5 years old, and the other is 18 months. And we reside down here in South Florida. Other than trading and my family, my other passion is saltwater fishing. And I had to do it. Just this past weekend, we just so happened to get into a school of tuna. This is a tuna. They weren't very big tuna, but we caught a couple of them. They were about 5 to 7 pounds. But let me tell you something. Those tuna are absolutely delicious, and the fillets that you get out of them, it's a bluefin tuna, and it's or blackfin tuna, excuse me, and it's sushi grade meat, and it's just absolutely delicious. But this is a recent fishing trip of Mark Miller, Sergio, and myself down in the Florida Keys. So I'm a fisherman through and through. I love saltwater fishing. So let's get on with it. I don't want to put you to sleep. Really, the genesis of the AI auto trader has been our lack of consistency as traders. Along our trading journey, 95, they say 95%. I think it's a little higher. Have experienced problems with consistency. And I think the number one problem, if you look on my slide here, this over trading, revenge trading, impulsive decisions, these all fall into a big bucket of human error or human emotion. I used to, hear other presentations and they would talk about traders having emotional problems, and I would always dismiss it because, I consider myself emotionally healthy. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't see a psychiatrist. I consider myself emotionally healthy, but that's not the emotional instability that we're referring to in the trading arena. In the trading arena, I've come to learn that I'm probably the biggest sufferer of all of us of these emotional errors that we have. My biggest error is I squeeze my stop. If I get a trade that's going in the direction and I see my P&L start running up those green numbers, I want to bail out as quickly as possible, or I want to pull my stop up very tight because God forbid I give back any of those profits. And the same holds true if I start taking some heat. If I start taking some heat on a trade, I'm the first to jump ship. And I get overly excited. I just lose I make emotional decisions. Decisions that are based on my emotions, not sound decisions that are based on the technicals. And I think that that's where the vast majority of us have our problems. Sure, we've probably purchased systems in the past that weren't as promised, weren't as advertised, that maybe they lagged price, they weren't part of a proven trading methodology. But we all know where this heads. The very definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I can tell you personally, I've blown out, probably 10 different trading accounts, and I've gone to sleep at night talking to myself, saying this just isn't for me, and there was always days of brilliance. I had some big trades and times that I thought I had finally turned the corner. But it all over the long run led to me blowing out my trading account and losing a lot of money. And I think you can share in my experience and know that it's a cold, desolate place. It's not a nice place to be. So this was the genesis of the AI auto trader, and it's been our team's commitment to bring this to an end. And we've been working diligently with this new technology that we call the AI Auto Trader. Because let's face it, when it comes to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, New York time, and that opening bell rings, listen, we can, have our own opinions and biases. We can listen to the talking heads, but only God himself knows which way that market's going to go. We really have no idea. So what we've done is that we've narrowed it down to two things that we believe is going to create trading success. Number one, and most important, is we have to have the proper tool set. We can't be trading with indicators that are lagging price, or an unproven trading methodology, or with technology in general that's just outdated. We happen to be right now in what I would refer to as an AI revolution. We have this new technology that I truly, honestly believe we are just scratching the surface of the full potential of this technology. The way that the speed in which it can analyze data, it's just, there's no human being that can do it. To put it into perspective, it's almost like having a calculator in your brain, making the decisions that are all based on data. You could punch in 5-digit numbers and multiply them and divide them and do 15 numbers and click enter, and you'll get your answer instantaneously. That's what this is running in the background, making your decisions for you. It never makes a mistake like we do. So this AI technology is what we've integrated into this system. And it's only getting more powerful as we accumulate more data and add more components to it. So ideally, once we have the proper tool set, we want to have a strategy that can take the trades for us automatically, get us in, get us out at the right time, the perfect price, have our stop in the perfect position based on the average true range of the market. So the likelihood of us hitting our profit target is greater than any other position. And our stop in taking as little risk as possible in order to reach our profit targets. These are complex calculations that this AI integration is going to make for you. So those are the two things that we've narrowed it down to create trading success. The benefits from using our AI Auto Trader, really, they speak for themselves. It eliminates all human error, all human emotion, all human error. I always like to allude to this, and at the risk of being repetitive, I just want to mention it. I saw a presentation. A gentleman by the name of Chris Vermeulen had done a study on human personality traits, the core personality traits that as human beings we all share. And he come to find out that there's about, I don't know, I think there was 10 or 12 different traits that we all share with a different degree of each one of them. And what he found was that 10 out of those 12 personality traits, 10 of them just don't lend well to being a good trader. So if you've had some failures in the past, I've got something you can blame it on. I know I sure do. Who knows? Maybe it's genetics. I don't know. But I can tell you for sure that 10 out of these 12 personality traits that are ingrained into our genes do not lend well to being a disciplined, emotion-free trader. All right. So the main benefit of the AI Auto Trader is it's going to eliminate those shortcomings that we have as humans. There's going to be no more overthinking, hesitating on where to, get in or get out. It's going to put your stop and your profit targets in the ideal locations. What I really love about the system is it self-optimizes its inputs. This is what we were striving for. What I mean by that is, let's be honest, and talk about the elephant in the room. Automated strategies in the past, the biggest knock has always been that they only do well in certain market conditions. Well, listen, when the market's trending, I got a bot that'll crush it. But when it's choppy and it's rangy, it gets beat up and it gives it back. So my favorite part and what we've been striving to achieve are bots that will dynamically change. What I mean by dynamically change, what I mean is while you're trading, without your input whatsoever, it's going to change its inputs automatically, all based on the data. It's all data-driven decisions or adjustments that it's making while you're trading. Listen, we're in a very news-driven market. Throughout the week, the ABCs of these news reports and the federal government come out with these, the CPI, the reports, and the jobs reports, and I mean, really complex, in-depth analysis of the state of our economics, and the market absorbs it in real time through our trading charts. So prior to these news reports being released, we might be in a very ranging market that's very choppy, that has a very narrow range. And then all of a sudden, these news reports come out in this news-driven market, and we go from 0 to 100 in a half a second. We see it every week on our trading charts. So what these bots do is they optimize and dynamically change based on the market conditions while you're trading. So it's really a breakthrough that we've been able to accomplish for our members with this self-dynamically changing and adjusting inputs. So regardless of the market conditions, you have a greater than average, an edge over all of the other retail traders to succeed. We also have some great prop trading templates that I'm going to go into in just a few minutes. So if you're a prop trader or if you trade a live account, I've got something I'm going to show you now that's going to provide you with a real edge. If you have any questions, I see your question, Dan, about phishing. I'm gonna kicked in. Okay, Amy was having audio problems. Let me see if I can adjust it higher. Let me move the mic closer to my mouth. Is that any better? And I'll put the volume up. I really apologize. Okay, now I'm at full blast. So I wanted to show you, because we have a diversified portfolio of strategies. We want to keep a finger on the pulse of the market. So what we've done to diversify the portfolio is we've included bots on all of the futures index equities, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, and the S&P 500. Very liquid instruments. The bid-ask spread are minuscule. So we have the best chance of getting filled on our entries and our exits. So we've also added some energy and crude oil, and with precious metals, we have gold. And listen, I know you've probably heard of what they call sector rotation. Institutions are going to rotate their equity, their assets, their equity from one asset class to the other to try to minimize their risk. So as these news reports come out with these different metrics, they're going to adjust their investments based on the data of these news reports. So what our system does is it keeps the finger on the pulse of where they're pulling money out and where they're putting money in. And we want to be all over that and have an edge being able to monetize the trend that they're creating on these instruments that we're trading. So I just want to highlight just a few of them, just to give you an idea of the performance that our members are realizing. The cash register, we have the E-mini, we have a couple of different data series or time frames that we trade the E-mini on. And I'm going to start with the 5-minute. The 5-minute in September, we had a good month. The 5-minute made trading just one contract, $3,591 trading the E-mini after commissions. Let me see if I can pull up my performance. Yes. And I also wanted to show you another data series on the 5-minute, other than the 5-minute on the E-mini. So just to give you a look at the metrics, this is from September 1st to September 30th. The signal B, which is a trend trading strategy, was up 35.91, had $1,700 in losers. Max drawdown, very small, only $462, and it was profitable 35% of its trades. Now, you think to yourself, it only won 35% of its trades. Wow, that's not very good. The secret sauce behind this strategy is the risk to reward ratio. As futures traders, I think this is where we all kind of go wrong just a little bit. We want to make sure that our winners are bigger than our losers. How many times have you taken 2 or 3 winners and you're feeling good and confident and you feel this is going to be your day, only to pull in a loser that wipes out those 2 winners? Well, it's kind of just like the complete polar opposite with this strategy. You could see here my average losing trade was $159, and my average winning trade was just under $900. So it's almost a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio with the E-mini on the 5-minute data series. Now we have a new strategy on the ES that's trading a 30 range. And one of our members, I wanted to show it to you because he showed me the numbers today. One of our members in our community, his name is Robert. And he's a professional in this industry. And he happens to be a professional at optimization of strategies. And he's really a very valued member of our community. He shares the results of all of his optimizations of our strategies. And you can download them right from Discord and run them based on his optimization results. But he just recently did an E-mini, and I don't know if you can see it. I think this is as big as I can get it. Let me see if I can bring it up bigger. Now it says on it, there's kind of a funny backstory on it. It says on it NQ, but it's not the NQ. Initially, the first week he ran it, he thought it was running on the NQ. He just made a mistake. He was actually running it on the ES. So after a week, his first week, he made $10,000. And he said, hey, you got to try this NQ strategy. So we were looking at it, and it just it wasn't performing like he had said on the NQ. He took a second look at it, and he apologized and says, I've been running it the whole time on the E-mini. So he made $10,000 his first week running it on the ES on a 30 range data series. And now the second week that he's been running it, he's up another 4,600. And that's trading just one contract on the ES. So combined, it's up about $14,000 running that ES strategy on a 30 range. So it's really a very promising strategy that we're going to continue to optimize. But I just wanted to show it to you. This is it here in my slide. $14,000 in profits from September 19th to October 4th. That's a lot of money. Then we have, our most powerful strategies happen to be the NASDAQ strategies. Very fast moving, fast market, extremely fun to trade and watch. We have a number of different time frames that we trade on the NASDAQ. We have a 2-minute data series that we call the retirement plan. We have a 30 range that we call the haymaker. We also have a 20 Unarenko that we call the Mack truck. And let me tell you, any one of the three on any given day has the potential to run up the score. We average almost every day of the week. One of these strategies is going to make $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000. The NQ retirement plan for the month of September was at $3,126, trading just one contract. Trading just one contract in the month of September, the 2-minute NASDAQ, 3,126. And I always get the question, well, can you show me a little more history? Well, Robert did a test on the NASDAQ strategy, and these are the results on a back test running it from January 1st to August 15th. And it got very similar results of what we're getting in real time, right around $3,000 or $4,000 per month on these strategies. And that's almost about what he got on his back test. So although back testing is not 100% reliable, and I wouldn't put a lot of weight in it, it happened to be similar to the results that we were getting forward testing in real time trading on our trading charts. And I want to spend just a few minutes. I'm going to get to the questions. I see you asking, MJ, Steve, and Amy. Bear with me for just a moment. I wanted to touch on the prop trading. I know a lot of our members are old school and they don't like prop trading. There's certain advantages and benefits of being a prop trader. The one that's the most obvious is we're not risking any of our own capital with these prop accounts. If we have a miserable day, it's not as painful. The most we can lose is the cost of the account, which is a very nominal fee. The drawback to a prop account are all the rules and regulations that they put on us, and the trailing drawdown, the trailing threshold, the consistency rules. They put these rules in place to make something that it was initially difficult even more difficult to get payouts. So there are pluses and minuses of prop trading. But I want to tell you that if you are a prop trader, man, I am here to tell you that we've got something special. All of the muss and fuss of passing an evaluation, we've almost completely eliminated. They really don't have stringent rules when it comes to passing the evaluations, to be quite honest with you. So we can take advantage of that, and man, do we ever. We have these templates called one-day pass templates, and the spirit of these one-day pass templates is to just get you through the evaluation stage, pass the evaluation as quickly and efficiently as possible. We call them our one-day pass because you could pass your evaluation in just one trade on certain size accounts. Other size accounts, you might need 2 trades. But the one-day pass, and I'm going to show you an example of one on YouTube that we recorded. What it does, just to give you the quick rundown, is it's going to trade the maximum number of contracts that your prop firm will allow for the prop size account evaluation that you're running. For example, a $50,000 evaluation, the maximum number of contracts is 10. You could trade 10 contracts, 10 E-minis, 10 contracts. So in order to pass that $50,000 evaluation on the NASDAQ, you would need 61 or 62 ticks. 60 ticks will put you at 3,000. So the minimum number of ticks, trading the maximum number of contracts in order to get you over that $3,000 threshold. We factor in the commissions because they do. So it's actually, I think 62 ticks is what we're going for on these strategies on the NASDAQ. Crude oil or gold, where it's $10 a tick, we'd only need 30 ticks. But let me show you this one-day pass because, oh my goodness, we've got one that I can't rave enough about. Let me go back to my trade performance. We have a one-day pass that runs on the crude oil. And right now they have, they have the political unrest in the Middle East. And crude oil is moving there's a lot of volatility with it. And our one-day pass, we're the beneficiaries of these numbers that we very rarely see on a one-day pass. Check this out. For the entire month of September, okay, this isn't just a one-day, a one-trick pony, a one-day wonder. This is something that consistently throughout the entire month, and it even is spilled into this month. If I add in October, it'll blow your mind. But September, look at this win rate, $11,000 in profits. It only took $2,000 in losses. Your max drawdown was $1,300. Your winning percentage was almost 77% on this one-day pass on crude oil. So if you do the math, and the math being the cost of the evaluation, let's say for a $50,000 account is $33. If you buy 3 accounts, it's $100. I like to kind of, under promise and over deliver. So let's say out of 3, our win rate is about 77%, but let's call it 33%. Let's say that we're just unlucky and the numbers don't hold true for us. Let's just say 1 out of 3. We'll call it 1 out of 3 that passes. And listen, we have several that are over 50%. The NASDAQ is over 50. We have a few NASDAQs over 50. The YM is over 50. And crude oil is over 50. So let's call it 1 out of 3 with these ODP templates. If you're a prop trader, you don't have to worry about passing evaluations. If God forbid you blow your PA account, it's not the end of the world. Yes, it's a setback. It hurts. But you know what? We'll get you another funded account probably within the next day or 2. So life does go on. It's not that big of a deal. So those one-day passes are a huge asset for our prop traders. So what about once you pass the evaluation? How are we going to sustain our funding? We have these, this is the NASDAQ one-day pass with a 51% win rate in the month of September. So just under 52% with the NASDAQ. And we have a couple of others that are doing extremely well. But the PA account prop trading strategy, once we get our funded account, we want to keep it and we want to get payouts. That's our goal. I always used to hear Mark say, our goal as traders is to sidestep losers. And I was always thinking, my goal is to make money. I just want to make money at this. So this PA account template has been very consistent. It does have very little drawdown for the month of September. If I bring it over, trading just one contract right from September 1st to the 30th, the PA account template was up $1,780. Now that's trading just one contract. The percent profitable only 42%. If we're at 40% profitable rate with these strategies, I'm telling you, you're going to do extremely well. You're going to make a lot of money. So we're only looking for a 40% as our goal. If we can get it above 40, oh my God, we're going to make a ton of money. So this is a strategy here that the max drawdown was only $1,000, and we were able to make for the month $1,780 trading this PA account template. What's nice about it, with trading, the NASDAQ is very liquid. If you wanted to trade 2 contracts or 3 contracts or 10 contracts, you can multiply this by the number of contracts that you're trading. So if you're trading 10 contracts, that's 17,800. So it's very impressive numbers to sustain those funded trading accounts. Now, I just want to get into a little bit of the minutia and just show you some of the technology. And I'm going to bring my control center up because I want to show you the brains that are working in the background, that are running this strategy, and what the logic really consists of. It's important to know that each one of our bots, and we have a bot for each one of the instruments, and they run in tandem with what we call a drone. The bot and the drone are both taking trades and sharing a database. And the drone is sharing all of the data with the bot as to what the best time of day to trade. It'll do a 30, 60, 90-day look back, and it'll tell the bot what time of the day, what trading hour sessions are the most profitable. And within the trading session, and within the strategy template, if I open up the template, you'll be able to see that I can have up to 3 different trading session hours. So what the drone will do is it'll look back at 60 or 90 days as long as we want it to, or as short as 2 weeks. In a news-driven market, sometimes it's better just to do a couple of weeks look back, and it will continue to dynamically update and change. But what it's going to do, the drone is going to run 23 hours a day. It's never going to hold a position overnight. So don't worry about that rule with the prop firms or having an additional margin requirement from your broker. It will exit the trade prior to 5 o'clock every day, Eastern time. But the drone will run 23 hours a day and tell the bot, historically, over the look back period, what times of the day it's doing the best. I found on the NASDAQ on a 2-minute, let me show you. Let me get my performance back. On the time optimization on this 2-minute, this is a 2-minute NASDAQ. You know, it shows, you know, right around 5 a.m. in the morning, 4:30, 5 a.m., right around the London Open. And then there's a really nice profitable window between 10 and 11, then going towards the closing bell. And then there's a late night session, and maybe the Asian market. But what this will do is the drone will feed this information to the bot. And while you're trading, it's going to dynamically add the most profitable trading session hours based on the data. These other times of the day that over the last month or two, it just keeps getting crushed, it's not going to trade your account during those times. It's only going to trade your account when historically it's proven to be the most profitable times. So that's part of that AI integration that will dynamically change your trading session hours. Another component of it that I wanted to show you is your stops and your profit targets. We have some very clever ways to manage our trades. What we've come to find out, trade management is probably more important than your entry. The way we manage our positions after we're in just makes a tremendous difference. So after learning what we did, we added in the only way that we can go for really a grand slam or a home run. If we put our profit target at a very ambitious profit target of say 240 ticks, and we go 120, and then it comes back and stops us out, we'd be sick. We'd watch our P&L run up $600 in profit, only to come back and stop us out, and we go to break even or we lost on the trade. So what we've done is, even trading a one contract strategy, we're able to lock in profits several different legs of that trade. Very clever the way this is designed. And I'll show you how it works. So what we can do, we have several different ways to manage this trade. Once this trade goes let's say it's at a 240 tick profit target. And once it goes 80, we're going to bring our stop to break even, but we want to lock in 40 ticks of profit. So we'll lock in a couple of $100 of profit. So our stop is at break even plus 40. We've locked in $200, and now we're going for 240. Well, we have what's called our profit window. So let's say once it goes to 180 ticks and the trade is matured nicely, and you're up 180, your stop is still at plus 40. Now what's going to happen is the profit, it came within our profit window. We're at plus 180. Your stop is going to fly up and come 60 ticks behind price to 120. So now you've locked in $600 of profit, and you have the potential to go that extra 60 ticks to hit the grand slam, to hit that home run, a $1,200 trade. And let me tell you, on the NASDAQ, I've seen it happen again and again. Having these home runs, I talk to traders all the time that say, that's really not what I'm looking for. I'm looking just to make a few hundred a day. And I agree, $200 or $300 a day for me is sufficient as well. But if you're going to run this in full automation, when you do the data analysis, having those home runs makes a tremendous difference in the long term. Over the course of a month, having those 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 trades that went the full excursion make a huge difference in the trajectory of your trade performance. It makes a tremendous difference. We did the numbers, we crunched them 10 times over because we thought we were crazy going for such ambitious profit targets. But trust me on this one. We've run it through our closed loop system, and it definitely pays off to have some home run trades in there. So we've provided this trade management that's coded directly into these strategies. This isn't something running off of your chart trader. This is hard coded into the strategy. We've taken it really to the next level with what we call our pattern recognition. The pattern recognition, for example, on this Smart Stop 2, the markets have candlestick patterns that are very geometrical, and they repeat themselves over and over again through the course of the trading session. And this self-learning model will recognize a particular candlestick pattern and know, hey, it's more than likely to reverse right now. I'm going to exit the trade now and lock in and take profits or minimize my loss. We just got a bearish engulfing candle and I'm long. I'm getting the heck out because I know the last 100 times that happened, this market reversed and I would have lost this much more money. So this candlestick pattern recognition, I ran a strategy this week that broke the record. It broke the single session record using this candlestick pattern recognition. It's recorded on our YouTube channel from yesterday. It made $5,000 yesterday alone using this Smart Stop. The way the strategy works, it gives the NASDAQ a very liberal stop. It gives it a lot of room. It's a 100-tick stop, and my God, I don't want to take a 100-tick stop. But what happened was with this smart exit or smart stop, it'll almost never come back 100 ticks. It's going to recognize a candlestick pattern that comes up on your chart and gets you the heck out of that trade quick. And on the flip side, I watched it yesterday. The profit target on it was 100. It's 100 and 100. And I saw it. It would go 60 or 70 ticks. A lot of the moves were long. It would go 60 or 70 ticks and then get a bearish engulfing candle and jump out of the trade and lock in 200 or 250 bucks. And it did it 7 times in a row. And so instead of it coming all the way back and hitting me at break even or plus 10 or some nominal gain, I was making $200 or $300 winners with this AI integration that recognizes the candlestick patterns. So that's another part of our secret sauce of how we're able to manage these trades so effectively. Really, I highly recommend if you want to see this in action, check out yesterday on our YouTube channel. Check out yesterday the live replay, and it's just incredible how it performed yesterday. So these next couple slides are really just showing what I've just explained to you regarding the pattern recognition. We had a strategy using the pattern recognition that we call it our NQ Smart Stop, $5,635 in September. And listen, as time goes and we're collecting more data, these are getting better and better and better. That's the exciting part about it. We discussed also the dynamically moving trading session hours. It's so important. My God, you know, Mark was right when he said one of the most important thing as traders is to filter out the losers. This is a very important integration to filter out those losing trades. Man, we don't want to trade when we know the last month in a row we took losing trades. Why continue the madness? It would be insanity. So with this integration, it's going to dynamically change and update the trading session hours in your automated strategy. And this is just, again, Robert from last week thought he was trading the NASDAQ. It was actually the E-mini that he made 10,000. This same strategy is up to 14 and change after this week. So let me make my special offer. Everything that I've outlined here today, all of these integrations and AI components will come with the system if you order today. We've been running it now for weeks. So if you come aboard this weekend, you will have everything that I've just gone over. Not only that, but we have probably the best tech support. And I've got to give Charles, for years, if you guys know me for a long time now, you know Charles took my job there. It used to be my job. I did it, and I'm so grateful. He does the tech support, and I just want to show you because I really think reviews are important, and this will really give you a really nice variety of different people's opinions. And you can go to Trustpilot, and you could see the beautiful reviews that Charles and the AI Auto Trader, with exception, there's one bad one, and I'll show it real quick, from Dean Hanley. And if any of you know the backstory who Dean Hanley is, I'm not one to throw mud on anybody, but he has an axe to grind with right line trading. What he says was he took a 1 week trial using his friend's login, because you see, if you review somebody on Trustpilot, you have to be able to confirm that you actually paid for the product or service, which he never did. So he makes the disclaimer that he used his friend's login, and he came into the trading room and saw immature trading, and he was referring to Craig Emery's trading room. But we don't really put a lot of weight in Dean. He's a special case. The vast majority of our reviews are really beautiful on Trustpilot. So what I was getting at is you're going to receive not only white glove installation, but you're going to, throughout the lifetime of your membership with us, we are going to provide you with white glove tech support. You're going to get a calendar link for myself, for Charles. Sergio will always make himself available if the two of us are busy. And we are going to remote in. We're not going to send you an encyclopedia on how to become an IT tech and with step-by-step instructions. We're going to remote in and do it for you. And you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about any heavy lifting. That's throughout the lifetime of your membership. We're going to include in this weekend special offer all of our prop trading templates. all of those one-day passes that I went over, all of those PA templates that are getting us payouts, like Mark. This is Mark's Apex portal. You know, had accounts in the 60,000s, $50,000 accounts. Has taken huge payouts with Apex, and watching him on YouTube is always a thrill. He does it live on YouTube live streams, and I'm always in awe that he doesn't suffer from the emotional problems I do. So you'll also receive masterclass modules 1 and 2. In module 1, we really go through each condition that's part of the strategy. And I know we're overdue for module 3 with these new integrations, and I've got to get it done this weekend or this coming week. But in module 2, we show you about a tool that we make available to you. It's actually an indicator and a backtesting tool that comes with the system that allows you to make and build your own strategies. And most people that hear me say that, they let it go because they don't want to do it. Robert, thank God, who's a member of our community, heard me say it, and man, he took off with it, and he provides our members with just outstanding strategies. So module 1 and 2 of those masterclass modules will be made available. You're also going to join us on YouTube. You know, listen, if we have a bad day trading, we wear it. We wear it. And you know what? I almost forgot my most proud moment of the presentation. I mentioned earlier, even a blind squirrel can find a nut. My P&L this week, drum roll, and I did it live on YouTube. $7,247 this week, trading my Apex accounts, 60% win rate. I don't let my winners run like the system. I'll bail out of my trades. It's still a problem. But 72.47. Listen, in my wildest dreams, trading my live account in the old days before I had this automation, I never had a week like this. Never, not even close. So this really has been a game changer in my trading career as well. So we do it every day live on YouTube. That goes right into the transparency and integrity. You know, I see other vendors, and what they'll do is they'll tell you how much money they're making and how great they're doing, but you never really see it until you dive in head first. And man, I've bumped my head before, and I know it hurts, but we're not like that. So the special offer is going to be the full Monty. It's going to include everything. The AI Auto Trader, what I mean by everything is we include what I refer to as the discretionary trading system. What I mean by that, let me back out for just a second, is the workspace comes with chart templates for every single one of your strategies. So the chart templates provide you with absolutely beautiful signals for entry. You can see this beautiful cross that this strategy took on a short. If you don't have your strategy enabled and you wanted to take advantage of that entry signal, there's nothing at all stopping you from entering the trade on a discretionary basis. So all of the chart indicators, all of the chart templates will come with this system. The also comes with all of the strategy templates. Where's my slides? Okay. It also comes with all of the strategy templates. You know, we don't give you, hey, if the market condition you think will be this, that, or the other, then use these settings. We have defined templates that will dynamically change during the trading session. So there's no guesswork on your part. It's all done for you dynamically and automatically. And those automated strategy templates are provided for you. We're going to include the full portfolio of strategies that I've mentioned, all of the prop trading templates. Normally, that prop trading component is an additional $14.99. We're going to include those if you decide to come aboard this weekend. You'll also be trading with us on YouTube Live, and you'll be part of our Discord chat community. So it comes kind of in 3 different sizes. We have a monthly, an annual, and a lifetime. The monthly is normally $7.99. If you use coupon code SAVE $200, your monthly will be $5.99 a month, ongoing, $5.99. For the annual subscription, it's normally it's $39.99. With coupon code SAVE $1000, it'll bring the price down to $29.99. And the lifetime, is normally $69.99. If you use coupon code SAVE $2000, it'll bring that price down to $49.99. So if you're somebody that just doesn't like recurring subscriptions and you just want to just get it paid off, and you'll have this system which will pay dividends potentially for a lifetime. So the annual subscription, $29.99, the monthly $5.99, lifetime $49.99. And these are the coupon codes. And my associate Brock is not here today. He is living in North Carolina. And you know that storm just had a tremendous impact on that whole community, that whole state. And our prayers are really with anybody that got impacted by Hurricane Helene. And the owner of the company, Mark Miller, has a beautiful home in Cornelius. So I want to put in the chat box, and I want to answer your questions. So I just put in the chat box the link to learn more or to place your order. And the coupon codes, instead of taking the time to type them all out right at this moment, because you could see them on my screen, when I send the recording of this webinar, I will include them in the email that comes with this recording. Okay. Let me go ahead and just check out some of the questions. I'm glad you got your audio working, Amy. Dan, Dan asked me about fishing. That's my favorite question, Dan. Thanks. He asked if I use electronics to find good areas to fish. Absolutely. If we're bottom fishing, we absolutely look for structure. We also have a GPS that we have coordinates on it's called a Garmin, that uses sonar to look at the bottom, and we can punch in GPS coordinates to take us right to artificial reefs or sunken vessels. So Stephen, is there going to be a replay? I cannot get into load on my phone. Absolutely, Stephen. We're going to clip this video, and tomorrow morning we will send you a replay. Okay. MJ. When I see MJ, I always think of Michael Jordan. Your original ES strategy. Great M3 is impressive. Yeah, same question. Yes, MJ. Of course. Of course. I'm also good. You know what? I'm going to put a calendar link in. And I can show you more if you'd like. If you'd like to book a time on my calendar. Steve, can you use your bot in an Apex? Both, Steve. That's a great question. Let me repeat that question. That's a very common question. And I did my homework to be able to answer it correctly. Steve asks, can you use your bot in an Apex PA account, or can I just use it in the evaluation account? Steve, you can use it in both an evaluation and a PA account. And the reason is, and I'm talking specifically for Apex now. I really haven't done my due diligence on the others, but specifically Apex, their rule in their terms and conditions allows us to use what they define as a semi-automated strategy. And a semi-automated strategy, by definition, are strategies that we can control. Let me go to a new strategy. And the short answer is it's not a black box system. We control the parameters, the conditions that have to be met in order for the trade to fire off. They call this a semi-automated strategy because it's self-directed. You have to, now listen, I don't want to scare you. We give you the answers to put into these. We send these in pre-formatted templates, okay? But it satisfies their terms and conditions because you're able to control the certain conditions that have to be met in order for the entry to fire off. To take it a step further, once the trade is triggered, if you have charts up, the strategies can run with no charts, just so you know. However, if you have your charts up, you'll see the trade, you'll see the stop and the profit target projected right on your chart. Let me see if I'm in any positions. Yeah, I'm on a position on the 2-minute retirement plan. So if I go to this 2-minute retirement plan, 2-minute signal A retirement plan, drone. Now you'll see that the system is in this trade right now, and you have your stop and your profit targets projected on the chart. So if at any time I want to close this position, I could click close, and I could take profits on the trade. If I want to go for a more ambitious profit target, I could take my profit target and I can move it anywhere I want. I could take profits here, or I could take them here. You're always in control on these trades. When I run them in these accounts, for demonstrations, I really don't touch them. On my own account, for the results, I got to be honest, I didn't have the courage to stay in the full excursion on some of those trades, and I exited early to lock in my profits. So you're always in control of the trade. If you're in a trade, you can see it on your chart. You can see the entry where the X is on my chart. That's where it took it. On a late Friday afternoon, it's coming at 2 o'clock. It's probably not the best time to trade. That's why the drone took it and the bot didn't. Because historically on Fridays at this time, it probably doesn't do that well. But to answer your question, yes, you can trade it on a PA or evaluation account. Yeah, MJ, we could do that for you, sure. It runs, there's six instruments. Each instrument has a bot and a drone. So it's a total of about 25 different strategies that are running. Tim. Tim also asked, what is the typical account size you need for each strategy? Well, they're risking, let's talk about micros and minis. If you're trading a live money account, and you could really run these strategies on the micros with about a $2,500 account and trade micros. This way, if you have a bad day or two, you're not going to have a problem. You've got some cushion there. If you're trading a live account and you're trading the minis, at the risk of not being underfunded, I would say 7,500 to 10,000. Now we can always start with the micros and build it up, and we can always scale up. With a prop account, I've been doing really well just trading with the 50,000, which really doesn't give you a lot of cushion. I also have a 300,000 that lets you breathe a little easier. Can I trade 9:30 to 12 Eastern? Absolutely, Shankar. In the strategy parameters, like I had showed earlier, we have what's called trading session hours. The trading session hours allow you to, if you would like, you can put in your own trading session hours for the times of the day you want to trade. Okay? And it would be static. If you don't want to use that AI integration that dynamically changes it for you, you would also have the ability to have a static or set time between 9:30 and 12, like you asked, and it will only trade during those hours. It also has a really nice daily profit limit. If your profit goal is $400 and you want to lock that in, listen, capital preservation is so important with this. Have a reasonable profit goal for the day. Put it in here, and once you reach it and it hits it, everything's going to stop. It's not going to take any more trades on your account. Also, the same holds true for a loss limit. It also has for prop traders what we call the trailing threshold. So if you're, let's say your profit target, I always like to kind of do a 2-for-1. I only want to lose 400, but I want to make 8. So in this scenario, if I've checked off my session trailer or my trailing threshold, in this scenario, if I make $500, now since I've checked this off here, my trailing session loss limit, now I can only go to plus 100. If I give back 400 of those $500 in gains, it's going to stop trading if I check that off. So there's a lot. You could also select the days of the week you want to trade. So there's a lot of flexibility when choosing what day, and what time to trade. What is typical? Can I trade? Okay. Well, listen, I think that's just about all the questions. So let me end the presentation. I just always like to show a slide or two of our Discord chat. We have a beautiful, just a tremendous community of traders that all support one another. In the daily results, they'll post their daily results of the strategies that are working. Yesterday, Simon posted that he made $1,000 across 6 accounts. This was some of the results here that we had on YouTube Live yesterday. So every day our members are posting what's working, what's not working. One of my favorite channels now is this strategy collaboration. We've got an expert on as part of our community. And I have a whole, just so you know, I have a whole hour video recorded with him showing how to use that optimizer in NinjaTrader 8. And this guy's the real deal. Robert is just a very valuable member of our community. He shares instruments with us that have been optimized, and we're all amazed at the results that we get with them. Very valuable member of the community. If you need tech support, if you're a prop trader, you have the resources. If you want videos or training videos, listen, it's an automated strategy. There is still a bit of a learning curve. If you're not familiar with Ninja, knowing how to change your account from a sim to a live, knowing how to roll your contracts, knowing how to navigate the different conditions, and there's a little bit of a learning curve. If you want to know exactly what's going on, you could always ignore it all and just enable it and just trade them out of the box, which is what most people do. So all of that is available to our members. So I want to just say thank you for your time. I know it's Friday, and I definitely don't want to ramble on. So let me get to my thank you slide. These are a couple of other testimonials. I think the most valuable testimonial that we have, and this is going to be it, is from Gary Sparks. Gary Sparks bought bots from 5 different companies looking for something that works. And he told you, this was right out of YouTube. And he told this Michael Edwards what he thought. He compared Right Line Trading's AI Auto Trader to all of these other companies' bots. And he says RLT kills it. RLT kills it. So he really, in his opinion, puts us above our competitors. And I think I've laid out a pretty good reason as to why. he had given us that recommendation. So let me go to my thank you slide. There we go. So listen, it's Friday, and I always end with this. If your trading journey has been like mine, and you've gone to bed at night talking to yourself, and you've blown another trading account, it's not the end of the road. There is hope. With this new technology and the advancements that we're making, I really think that you have a tremendous potential to change the trajectory of your trading career. And I really hope that you decide to come aboard and we can work together. So have a great weekend, everybody. I hope that you're able to spend time with people that you care about the most.